What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Toshi today. It is the 29th day of November. And here we are at about $3041, 0.00041, with 7 hours and 13 minutes left in this day. We got a whole nother day after that in this month, and then it's over. This month you are down about 40%, which is dramatically more than the average altcoin. I think the average altcoin right now is down about 13%, so down a lot. In all fairness, though, you're probably up a lot more than the average altcoin from April as well, from your lows in April. So you've got a little bit more to give back. I want to look at the weekly time frame real quick because, I mean, obviously here you have broken some serious structure. Unfortunately, right? We were anticipating that we'd break out to the upside. That's what the momentum seemed to be shifted towards. It just didn't happen, and absolutely we did break out to the downside, right? We've had another higher low kind of trend that we've broken out to the downside back here. And at the lows, we saw the same readings that we're seeing now on the RSI. We're actually at the same levels here that we were back there when we were at the lows here. Now, a couple of observations to make, but beyond that, right? Did we, once we hit this low in the RSI, did we go lower? Well, yes, we did see a lower low. Could we go lower here? Absolutely we could. Was it a dramatic amount lower? No, it wasn't anything crazy. It might have felt dramatic because from the high point to the low point there, you did drop another 58%. But from low to low, the discrepancy is negligible at best, right? It's not anything to worry about. The next observation I'd like to make is that we did not rally immediately. It took months, right? In those months, we were in an uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. Hell, we even actually broke out of our trend right here. You can see it. You can kind of see it right here. Let me show you. Right? You broke out of this trend here. You even put in a low. I guess it was a higher low here, but still you broke out of that trend and then you rallied. But it was months. It was months before we saw, I mean, literally from this low in the RSI, from July 30th until January. It was about a half year before you rallied. Now, I'm not saying this to say that in June of 2026 or in May or April, that's when we're going to start to rally. That's not my thoughts. But it's probably not going to be an immediate recovery that we're expecting, right? There's going to be a long road to recovery, and along that long road is not going to be death and destruction. It's more, and it's not going to be excitement. It's going to be this boring sideways. Maybe we see a lower low. Maybe we get some higher highs, higher lows, kind of indecisive behavior, ranging behavior for, I feel safe saying, at least a couple months, right? At least a couple, if not at least a month. But it's been a week. It hasn't actually even been a full week since we've hit our lows, because it was November 21st that we hit the lows. It hasn't even been, or has it? I guess it's been a little bit past a week since we've hit our lows. We've got some time. In that time, we will recover. We will push higher, and I do expect that we will. Looking at the daily time frame here, the RSI is a bit bearish at the 50, but you look at the weekly RSI again, where we are, we're definitely in a point of recovery. We should be, the momentum should be shifting, if it's not already shifted, to the upside from here, okay? MACD's back at the zero, an area that you bounced from back here. You're actually below the zero back here, but again, your histogram reading is very similar to what you had back here at these lows, where again, it took half a year before you really saw some substantial growth. And that's not fair of me to say necessarily. I mean, it is fair. You look at the chart, it's completely fair that it took half a year before we broke out, but in that time, from the low, we did see a 222%. We gave it back, and then from that low to the next high, we saw 332%. It's not like it was just boring, flatlined, not exciting at all, and to the downside. There were some moments of excitement, but we just didn't really consistently break out or see any kind of higher trend, voluptuous movement until quite some time afterwards. So can we double in price from here over the next month? Sure. Can we triple in price over here from here over the next month? Sure. But I don't think we're going to see new all-time highs probably until sometime, if I had to be safe, I would say maybe mid Q1 or late Q1 of 2026, right? New all-time highs are still on the table. They're just going to happen at a later point, a much later point than we had originally expected, unfortunately. And that's largely due to the fact that Bitcoin and the rest of the market has been underperforming, right? Everything, all the narratives we built out for crypto to grow, it just didn't happen. But the stock market grew, and commodities saw growth. Everything else is growing as far as price. We had the right idea, the right momentum with bullish momentum coming into the markets. Just everywhere except for crypto, apparently. Crypto is the only one that had problems. Anyways, moving on, looking at the daily time frame here, again, getting back to this, the RSI did reject the 50. You do have lower highs still. You probably do come back down and find support at the oversold zone. And with that, we possibly could see lower lows here. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It's never exciting to talk about going lower, but it's quite possible that we could see a lower low than 30334. Okay, we could go below there. I do expect that if, not when, but if we go below there, that it would be insignificant. It would be a very negligible amount lower. We might just get a lower daily close while still providing a higher low here, or a double bottom even. Right? Something like that could happen. So, or I could be wrong altogether. Maybe we don't reject. Maybe we don't go down to the oversold zone. Perhaps we find support at the 40 and then we move higher from there. Anything's possible. We kind of have broken out of this downtrend, but we still don't have higher highs. We have lower highs. So we are at a point of which to reject, and we have rejected. Let's just look at the 1 hour time frame and we'll zoom out from there. 1 hour RSI looks bearish. The stochastics look bearish, and the MACD looks bearish as well. Bullish divergence on the MACD, stochastics, no bullish divergence on the RSI. We certainly can go lower, but maybe we get a little turbulence on the way down. Double top here. A little bit of an M pattern double top. Technically, I would think that we keep going down until we see 3041 to 3039, somewhere in that range at least, if not potentially even below 3038. So we probably are moving down from here. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, how's Turbo doing? Because I know Turbo did well over the past few days. Down 12%, yeah. Little standard volatility is what that's called, right? You pump and then you dump. That's crypto for you sometimes. 4 hour time frame, especially in moments like this, right? A lot of people might think that, oh, this pump validates my crypto. The rest of the market's down. Everything else is crashing or being boring. My crypto's pumping. This is clearly the golden goose. But generally, in moments like this in the markets, you do get these little pump and dump moves. It's more just large money pumping up the price. Retail is chasing the pump. They sell. Large money sells back, and then things regulate. And then it'll come back up and it'll do well. But it's normally, I think this is just effery in the market. Someone's making money the quote-unquote easy way at the expense of retail. Anyways, 4 hour RSI, lower highs here, higher highs here. Technically, that is bearish divergence. Getting below the 50. You looked like you wanted to break out and move higher, but there was no volume, no follow-through. So I really think that you will see, if not something around this low or a lower low, something that is a retracement of this move. So low to high here, you can't get above the 236. Let's go back down to the golden ratio and try to find support there. If you can't find support there at 0038, 0039, then you will go lower, down to 0036 or 0034. If you can't find support there, well, we will see you down at 0003 to 00026. Every time here that I said 003 or 004, I meant to say 0.000. There's supposed to be 3 zeros there, but I got stuck in 20 land for some reason. None of these are 2 zeros. They're all 3 zeros. Anyways, stochastics are bearish. The MACD is bullish. I don't like it though. This is bearish because typically what you see whenever you cross above the 0 on the 4 hour is you do consolidate for a little bit, okay? And we did. We consolidated for a little bit, and then you push higher. And we did push higher. But the push higher is supposed to take you somewhere. This did not take us anywhere. This flatlined. We actually found resistance right where we found resistance before. Because of that, because when you have something good like the MACD doing this, and you don't do good things, then you typically do bad things. Right? And again, I'm not calling for a lower low. If we get to a lower low, I'm not going to say, I told you, I was right, we called it, I knew it was going to go down there. No. I just wouldn't be surprised. If we went down to 303, 3026, it could happen. It could. It doesn't mean that we go down there. It could happen though. And if we do, understand, my expectation would be if we go below this low, it's going to be lesser than that. We probably don't see dramatically lower lows. It might be like a fake out or something like that. But if we do, any price at all below this low, whether it's just below or very much below, will likely be very short-lived. We will likely come back and regulate back to normal, right? In a very short amount of time. Overall, we're expecting big things out of Toshi. But as I opened up this video saying, unfortunately, because of this massive dump and breakout, things need to reset. It likely will be some time before we see new all-time highs. My expectation is that we will see something around 0.0045 to $0.01, something in this range, when we do break out. That is the expectation. Which, from the high, I mean, a 5.5x move, that's great. But from where we are now, let alone lower, that's now a 10, it's almost an 11x move. You literally double the potential. And this is why dollar cost averaging is so important, right? Buying here at what seemed to be the most obvious breakout point, it did. There's so much momentum in, but just Bitcoin and everything crapped out on the 10th of October, unfortunately. As great as that is, DCAing allows you to reap the benefits in case it does go lower. You know, you accentuate those gains effectively. I very much do expect that Toshi will see these prices sometime in Q1 of 2026. That's my expectation. Probably mid to late Q1 would be my guess. And I don't think that you stop here. My expectation would be that we at least hit something around 0.0065 or higher, which from the current price, let alone if we go lower, is about a 15.5x or more. Very voluptuous movement coming in. I doubt it happens in 2 weeks like it did back here. But over time, maybe in May, maybe in April. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Q2. Maybe in March, maybe in February, we're up here. Maybe it is Q2 though. You know, it could take longer. Again, this took 6 months to reset. If we're resetting from here 6 months past November, that is May. Right? That is May. And again, just because it took 6 months last time doesn't mean it has to take 6 months this time. I don't expect it to. I think Q1 is going to be bullish. I really do. But time will tell, right? And again, don't mistake this boring time, quote unquote boring time, for a complete absence of growth. There will be growth here and there. It's just not every pump is going to validate us to new all-time highs. Every pump that we get probably for the coming weeks or months will get dumped back into. Every dump will get pumped back into. That's just how it is. I've got nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I think Toshi, as far as meme coins go, is really positioned to stay. It's positioned to come back. You just got to give it a little bit of time. That's all. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one. Adios.